Good morning, ma'am. I am James Howard Saldia from BSHM 3A, and today I will discuss about Chapter 16, Formalities of Entry in and Exit from the Philippines. So our topic outline for today are admission requirements, admission of aliens under pre-arranged employment, admission under the Balikbayan program, Philippine immigration policy and non-immigrant Chinese, Philippine immigration policy on Indians, lifting immigration restriction on South Africans, passport requirements, Philippine passport, fantasy passport or camouflage passports, visa requirements, treaty trader or treaty investor, Subic special investors visa under Republic Act 7227, Special Economic Zone visa under Republic Act 7916, Special Clark Economic Zone visas under Executive Order Number 80, Cagayan Economic Zone of Freeport visa under Republic Act 7922, investor in tourist-related project or tourist establishment under Executive Order Number 63, additional requirements for prior to entry, extension of stay, exclusion of foreigners, deportation of foreigners, detention of foreign travels, exit requirements. So our learning objectives are identify various government requirements for foreign to enter the Philippines, explain the importance of valid passport when traveling, enumerate the privilege of Filipinos covered by the Balikbayan program, discuss the dual citizenship law, admission requirements, the law, Section 10, non-immigrants must present for admission into the Philippines an expired passport or official documents in the nature of passport issued by the government of the countries to which they own allegiance or other travel documents showing their origins and identity as are prescribed by regulation and valid passport visas granted by diplomatic or consular officers. The seven visa categories for non-immigrants in the Philippines, as provided the Philippines Immigration Acts are: first, temporary visitors; second, transient; third, seaman; fourth, treaty trader or treaty investor; fifth, foreign government official; sixth, students; and lastly, pre-arranged employment. An alien is allowed only one immigration visa category at any given time. Admission of the aliens under pre-arranged employment. For aliens who would wish to engage in gainful employment in the Philippines, the following jurisdictional facts must be proven to the Board of Commissioners for a pre-arranged employment visa: the nature of the labor or service for which the visa is desired. No person can be found in the Philippines who is willing and competent to perform such labor or service. The length of time of employment, the wages, the wage of compensation to be received, the reason why no other person in the Philippines can be engaged for such labor or service, certified copies of the contract of employment, the reason why the admission of the applicant into the Philippines should be beneficial to the public interest, proof of his valid entry and admission in the Philippines. Admission under the Balikbayan program. A Balikbayan should mean a Filipino citizen who has been continuously out of the Philippines for a period of at least 1 year, a Filipino overseas worker, or a former Filipino citizen and his family who had been neutralized in the foreign country and comes or returns to the Philippines, those bearing foreign passport, with the exception of restricted nationals should be allowed among the others visa-free entry to the Philippines for a period of 1 year. Philippine immigration policy on non-immigrant Chinese. Shift in the Philippine foreign policy towards China in the recent years have resulted in a significant changes in immigration guidelines towards in these five major classes in Chinese. First, Filipino Republic of the China. Second, Special Administrative Region of Hong Kong, China. Star of Macau, China. Certificate of Identity holders, Republic of China, Taiwan, Taipei, or Formosa. They are not they are now allowed under temporary visitor or business visas with a multiple entries for the up to 6 months. Visa may be issued without prior authorization from the Department of Foreign Affairs, provided the following requirements are submitted. First, duly accomplished with a visa application form. Second, passport valid for 6 months beyond the period of authorized stay in the Philippines. Third, valid entry visa to the next port of destination or re-entry to the country of origin or residence. Fourth, confirm return onward passage ticket. Fifth, and last, such other requirements as may deem necessary by the consular officer. Chinese are now allowed an initial stay of 59 days, whether for travel individual or in groups. Philippine immigration policy on Indians. Temporary visitor visas are available to Indian nationals provided first the apply of the visa from their country of origin or India or from their place of legal or permanent residence if they are no longer permanent residents in India. Second, those who have been previously issued a temporary visitor visa may may apply from any Philippine embassy or consulate in a third country, provided they have not been subsequently denied a visitor visa, blacklisted, or deported from the Philippines. Lifting immigration restriction on South Africans. On October 8, 1993, on UN General Assembly lifted all economic sanctions imposed against South Africa in the areas of trade, investment, finance, travel, and transportation. Hence, South Africans are no longer restricted aliens. Passport requirements. A passport is defined as an official document of identity and nationality issued to a person intending to travel secure in the foreign countries. In the property of the government of the issuing authority, it is not private property of the person to whom it has been issued. The Philippines issued three types of passports. First, diplomatic passport issued to the individuals who with diplomatic status, including high-ranking government officials and their families. Official passport issued to the government officials and employment traveling abroad on the official business, but without diplomatic status. Third, regular passports issued to private citizens traveling abroad for personal reasons. Philippine passports. In the Philippines, a passport issued by a Department of Foreign Affairs certifies the holder of Philippine citizenship is used for a travel. A travel document, however, is a temporary certification issued to the individuals with a questionable citizenship for specific trips to or from the Philippines. Travel documents are issued to Filipino who have lost their passport or cannot obtain a regular one. Filipinos being deported. Non-Filipino spouse or Filipinos and their dependents who are not yet naturalized and are traveling to our permanent residents of the Philippines. Permanent residents unable to obtain foreign passports or other travel documents. Stateless persons or refugees who are permanent residents or have been granted asylum in the Philippines. While a Philippine passport is a usual sufficient proof of the citizenship, immigration authorities may deny entry to those who fail to prove their citizenship, fake fraudulent claims, or have a doubtful claim of the citizenship. Fantasy passports or camouflage passports. Fantasy passports are not valid travel documents. They are usually issued by a private individual or organizations, usually purporting to be from fictions or invented country or authority, a country that once existed but no longer exists, or self-appointed political group. The following documents are considered fantasy passport: Anishinaabe Anishinaabe or Native American, State of Antigua, Association Intertrade Humanitaire Internationally, Carolinian Binarican State of Dynasty, Center the Information Corps of Demo, Diplomatic and Consular, Kingdom of Colonia, Council of Republic, Confederate States of America, Confederation Mondiale des Correspondants Diplomatiques, Corps Diplomatics of the Philippine State of America, Republic or Croatia, Department of Foreign Affairs Silver Card, Economical World Patriarchate, Empire Washitao di Dugahaunanja, Hindu Sunanane, Hot River Principality or Hot River Province, International Biographical Association, International Humanitarian Society, International Parliament for Safety and Peace, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, International Solidarity Center, Arcanians Nation, Khalistan, Knight of Malta, Republic of Kinoe, Maria Kingdom of Titite, Dominion of Melchizedek, Nation of Israel, North America Indian Nation Government, NSK or Nouvelle Slovenian Cons, Oceanus, Organization of American Unity, Paistor Catalas, Principality of Palmyra, Parliamentary, Parliament of Antioch, Planetary, Policiat, Roma, Romano, Romano Junaco, Republic San Cristobal, Principal of Ceylon, Service Information, Symbolic European, Texas, Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands, United Nations Office, Free Independent State of Veracruz, Principality of Vikingland, World Parliamentary Confederation of Chivalry, and lastly, World Service Authority. Visa requirements. A visa is a written endorsement made on travel documents or a passport by a consular official denoting that the visa application has been properly examined and the buyer is permitted to proceed to the country of his destination. The visa thus issued is not guarantee that the holder will be automatically admitted into the country because the admission of the foreign nationals in the Philippines is a function of the immigration authority at the port of entry. Treaty trader or treaty investor. A treaty trader is a foreigner who is entering the Philippines solely to carry on the substantial trade or commerce between in the Philippines and the country of which is he is a national pursuant to existing treaty of commerce and navigations. Subic Special Investor Visa under Republic Act 7227. Foreign nationals not categorized as restricted as determined by the Department of Foreign Affairs visiting the Subic Freeport Zone for business, and the tourism purposes may be allowed to enter all the port of the entry of the zone and stay therein without a visa for a maximum period of 14 days, provided that upon arrival they present a passport, certificate of identity, or travel documents valid for at least 6 months beyond the intended stay in the zone, and confirm onward flight tickets. Special Economic Zone visa under Republic Act 7916. Any investor within the eco zone whose initial investment shall not be less than US dollar of $150,000. His her spouse or dependent children under 21 years of age shall be granted permanent resident status within the ecozone. They have freedom of ingress and egress to have a ecozone without any need of special authorization from the Bureau of Immigration. Special Clark Economic Zone visas under Executive Order Number 80. Foreign national and not categorized restricted as determined by the Department of the Foreign Affairs, visiting the Clark Ecozone for a business or the tourism purpose may be allowed to enter all ports of the entry of the Clark's Ecozone and stay therein without a visa of the maximum period of 14 days, provided that upon arrival they present their passports, certificate of authority, or travel documents valid for a 6 months beyond the intended stay in the Clark Ecozone, and confirm onward flight tickets. Cagayan Economic Zone and Freeport visa under Republic Act 7922. Any foreign investor who establishes a business enterprise within the zone and who maintain a capital investment of none less than $150,000 should be granted along within his spouse, dependents, and unmarried children with below 21 years of age a permanent resident status within a zone such as foreign investor and her spouse, dependents, and unmarried children below age of 21 years should have the freedom of ingress and egress to have from the zone without any special authorization from the Bureau of Immigration. Investor in a tourist-related project or tourist establishment under Executive Order Number 63. The investor, his wife, and unmarried minor children should be permitted to enter the reside in the Philippines as a special investor residence for as long as the investment of $50 subsists, provided that they have not been convicted of a crime involving a moral turpitude. They are not affected without loathsome, contagious, or dangerous disease. And lastly, they have not been institutionalized for any mental disorder or disability. Additional requirements prior to entry. For non-immigrants, a valid return tickets to their country origin or next destination is required. Certificates of residence must be obtained from the Bureau of Immigration by temporary visitors, students, those with a pre-arranged employment, extension of stay. In the case of non-immigrant visa holders whose stay in the Philippines will be exceed 59 days, the consular officer should be advise them that they should be secure extensions of stay and register with the Bureau of Immigration and pay the necessary immigration fees. Exclusion of foreigners. Section 29 outlines the classes of aliens excluded from that entry in the Philippines, which include individuals deemed mentally incompetent or insane, those affected with a loathsome or dangerous contagious disease such as epilepsy, individuals convicted of crimes involving moral turpitude, prostitutes, procurers, or those coming from immoral purposes, re- person like to become a public charges, including poorest, vagrant, and beggars, practitioners or advocates of polygamy, individuals advocating the violent overthrow of the Philippine government or opposing organized government, person over 15 who cannot read in the language commonly used, family members of excluded aliens, unless of the Commissioner of Immigration deems their admission would not cause hardship, accompanying person required for the care of excluded individuals due to disability or infancy, and unaccompanied children under 15, with the exception of discretion of the Commissioner of Immigration, stowaways who may admitted at the discretion of commissioners, individuals coming to perform unskilled manual labor based on the employment, with the exceptional of for those with the authorized visa. Individuals previously excluded or deported with some exceptions, allowing for discretions by the commissioners. Individuals removed the Philippines at the government expense without consent for readmission. Any other individuals not properly documented for admission as required by law. Person not properly documented for admission as may be required under the provision of this Act. Deportation of foreigners. Section 37 outline grounds for the arrest of deportation of aliens in the Philippines. Aliens subjected to deportation include those who enter the Philippines using a false statements or without proper inspection, those who are not lawfully admissible at the time of entry, those convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude with a specific sentencing or criteria, those convicted of violating drug laws, those who engage prostitutes or related activities, those who become a public charge within 5 years of entry due to pre-existing condition, those who violate the condition of their non-migrants status, those who advocate of violent overthrow of a government engage the related activities, those who commit acts described in Section 45, those who convicted of violating the Alien Registration Act, those who engage profiteering, hoarding, or black marketing, those convicted of offenses related to naturalization or citizenship acquisition, those who defraud creditors by absurding or alienating properties, detention of the foreign travelers. Section 25, for the purpose of determining whether aliens arriving in the Philippines belong to any classes excluded by the immigration laws. The examining immigration officer may order such alien detained on board the vessel bringing them or in such other place as the officer may designated. Such detention should be a sufficient length of the time enable to officers to determine whether they belong to a excluded class, and their removal to such other place should be a expense of the vessel bringing them. Exit requirements. Section 22A. Any alien intending to depart from the Philippines temporarily or permanently should be applied the Commissioner of Immigration for a clearance certificate before leaving the country. If the Commissioner finds that the applicant has no pending obligation to the governments or its instrumentalities, agencies, and subdivisions, and no pending criminal, civil, or administrative action requires that the applicant present in the Philippines, the Commissioner shall issue the certificate upon surrender by the alien of all other certificates previously issued by the Bureau of the Immigration showing admission and or residence in the Philippines. Thank you.